Okay, and especially against the Lich, I mean, they have taken this bottom tower here. So, I mean, yeah, managed to get a deny in, if I'm not correct. Yeah, no denies from any of the teams. So actually, the Sentinel picked up a tower. Sentinel picking up a tower when should have gone to the Razor, but unimportant as that may be, the point is that the bottom lane has really been pushed against the Lich, and that's really useful for Lich because, I mean, the only reason why you solo Lich, and Lich is a really good solo because he got a slow, got high survivability, he's got an awesome amount of mana, his mana pool is insanely high, so he's a really good solo and he can farm up very effectively using his Frost Nova. Also, one of the things about Lich is, even though he's not a carry hero, the reason you solo him is to try get him up early levels, because once he's hit level 6, he can just run around fail Earthshaker, Blast, and Fissure and Blast from Pugna. But anyway, one of the reasons why you give your Lich early levels is because you can get up his ultimate early on, and once his ultimate's up in teamfight, he really just becomes such a devastating force. Also, giving After Farm to a Lich in the early game means that he can pick up, well, he's not, in this case, he's going to pick up an Urn, it looks like, an Urn and Arcane Boots, but he can also farm up an early mech, and an early mech on a Lich means that you can tower dive effectively and really become useful, because you can just, you know, be baller, dive behind someone's tower and pop up an ulti, and that's pretty much GG. We're going to see a gang probably going on the Crystal Maiden here in the mid lane. Crystal Maiden, get back! Crystal Maiden is going down, Crystal Maiden going down. I mean, wow, just dead. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't like Crystal Maiden. Okay, poor positioning. We do see a hook shot coming off, however, onto the Leshrac, and Clockwork gets a peculiar. Is the remaining Edict going to pick off the Clockwork? No, Clockwork's going to get out of there alive. Razor, in the meantime, has become mid-kill and picked up a double kill. He's picked up, killed Link, and he killed King A's head, so that was really well played by the Razor. TPing in from bottom, TP support being super effective there. Eridar has finally left the top lane, level 9 now, has picked up his phase boot, and a point booster, and looking at now that it's 10 minutes, I'm going to do a quick farm check. The reason why I do a farm check at 10 minutes because it's really indicative of who's farming up nicely. So looking at a quick farm check, we have 47 going on King A, 60 on GG, so that's more than 5 minutes. That's exactly where you should be at the moment. 25, however, only going to the Razor, and 18 on 18 onto the Clockwork, which really just shows you the presence, this laning presence of Eridar. If we can just talk about the laning present, yes, they aren't laning at the moment, but if we can talk about the laning present there. Clockwork, obviously in the top lane, is not going to be getting a lot of farm. Firstly, because he's got relatively low base damage compared to this Eridar. He's sitting at 74 to 78, who can last hit extremely well and can harass you down. Also, the fact that this Eridar has Shadow Wave and has Disruption, I mean, it's just super good to cancel positioning, and Clockwork relies heavily on positioning, and Earthshaker is going to go down here. That's exactly the reason why Eridar is so powerful. Just Disruption, that Shadow Wave, and your positioning is completely removed, and Earthshaker was just, you know, it removed any positioning that Earthshaker had on this ramp, just putting on a disruption on him, and you can just round up the ramp and take him down. A ward being put up here by Pugna, but that's not going to be too effective. So anyway, in that top lane here, the Shadow Wave, it was just really probably just pushed the Clockwork out there, because he can't stand there and last hit creeps, because he's just going to take too much damage from the Shadow Wave. The only real option he has was using Rapids to farm. He did have Crystal Maiden's aura, so that was pretty useful. And they're having, Denmark having harassing down top lane here. Playmate's ulti will hit Gillette, but that's irrelevant. So anyway, so definitely with Eridar, it's really good, the fact that he can last hit and he can farm up nicely. I'm not so sure what the benefits of giving Eridar are, or giving Eridar a lot of farm are. I think especially, and also in terms of Clockwork, he really needed to get early levels, get up an early amount of farm. The fact that Eridar is level 9 now and the Clockwork is only level 7 really just shows you how well and how effectively putting Eridar in a solo lane against another solo hero. Is this ulti going to hit Razor on the bot here? Is he going to hit Razor? Is he going to hit Razor? Is he going to hit Razor? It does hit Razor! Wow! Great ulti from King A, but I think Razor's going to survive anyway. So yeah, it's really indicative of how powerful Eridar is in the solo lane and how he can hold on Clockwork. This Clockwork really just wanted to get up an early amount of farm, and then he can just leave the lane. But the fact that he was held on meant that he couldn't leave the lane, and he couldn't be effective in terms of roaming and picking up kills, you know, maybe killing the Lich, that sort of thing. Wow, Eridar diving here like a beast. picking off Lich, picking off the Razor, and that's definitely worth it. Eridar not being a primary carry here, he's going to disrupt himself on another disruption. He might get out of here. Is he going to get out of there? Juking like a pro, juking with his images like a pro, but he's going to go down to the tower, unfortunately. Really good play there by Eridar. Definitely worth sacrificing himself there to kill off the Razor. Like I said, Clockwork's supposed to be in the lane there to leave the lane to go roam effectively. Eridar, he doesn't really need to worry too much. Great ultimate again by King A, but this Lich might go down. But he does pop his ultimate onto the Crystal Maiden in the hope that she's going to get shattered, but she doesn't. The ultimate wears off too soon, and in fact, Pugna picks up a kill against the Lich there. So like I was trying to say, you can probably leave an Eridar on the lane to farm up as much as possible, because and you don't really need to worry about it, because I'm not so sure that he's the best hero in giving farm to. It's not that effective an Invis Rune here on Leshrac. But anyway, so a farm on an Eridar isn't that effective. He has relatively high base damage, but he's definitely not a carry. I think he's more of a harassing nuke. He's much more of a nuking hero with his disruption and a cancelling sort of. He cancels position and he nukes, and he's a very good. Has super high lane presence, but that's about all he really offers for your team. Great hook here onto King A. King A is probably going to go down here. He's going to be picking up a 4-staff, definitely going to be picking up a 4-staff to cancel that off. I'm going to look at the creep stores quickly once this battle is over. Not nice fisher there by Earthshaker, cancelling the static link that this Razor had onto GG on the Eridar there, and he goes down. And so that really cancelled the kill that they possibly could have got here. Just having a quick look at the farm again. 41 going on Razors. He's catching up slowly, but slowly. I mean, 41 creep kills in 15 minutes is just not acceptable in this sort of high level of play. 65 on GG now, 66 on AA, so they're pretty high levels. High in terms of farm, and 39 going to this Pugna. Excuse me, I'm just going to sip of water quickly. So anyway, like I was trying to say, I'm not so sure that that the Clockwork should have been worried about leaving this Eridar to farm up. I mean, he's dealing like 100 damage, and yes, his attack animation is good, and he can whack you down. But, I mean, that's not his primary role in the team, and you can probably play him as a carry, but I don't think, I mean, compared to a Razor, he's not going to be doing the same effective DPS. A Razor picking up a Hood and a Ring of Regen there. Ultimate missing middle. Just looking at the items here, we're going to see a 4-staff being picked up here on GG. We're going to see Mech also being picked up onto the Lich quite soon. We're going to see a gang going off top here onto this Crystal Main. A Fisher failing to do anything. I haven't been impressed by this Earthshaker's play at the moment. Pugna's Ward just trying to do a lot of harassment. Hasn't been working out too well from ultimate being popped here on Pugna. We do see a stun going off on Pugna as well. Shadow waves being blasted everywhere. We see disruption going off here. King A comes in. He's Pugna's definitely going to go down. King A comes in, be super useful. But I mean, the ship, this really the low HP remaining of these heroes. It was 3v2, and the fact that both these heroes are sitting on like 200 HP is really indicative of how frail the Scourge team is. So yeah, so I'm not so sure about how much farm the Eridar can get up. So laning analysis done. Just thought I'd like to talk you through that, guys, because I mean the lane shouldn't stay exactly laning for long. I mean they were laning for about 10 minutes, and then they just even less than 10 minutes, then just bug it off and said cheers. Top tower now has definitely. While we were watching that, we saw Milk picking up a Milk picking up the tower on the top here. That Edict is just so powerful in terms of taking down towers. Also really great for farming in the bush like we see over here. So he's picked up an Urn as well. So we see an Urn on him and an Urn on... oh no, Lich hasn't gone for his Urn. So he's going to go for the Mech first. So it looked like Lich was going for the Urn. But maybe that's just definitely going to be used to pick up bonus... just bonus HP instead. Earthshaker just picking up his boots finally and a Null Talisman. Clockwork has picked up an Urn. The reason why I like Urn, just talking about the Urn on Clockwork, I like Face Boots on Clockwork because obviously it allows your battery assault to be more effective and also gives you bonus DPS. The reason why I like Urn on Clockwork is that if you're roaming, it's super effective. It gives you another nuke. But if you're not roaming, I really just don't like it because I'd rather put that money, especially in this game when he hasn't been roaming and you're facing all this numerous single target nukes like Fire Blast, like Eridar, like this air, everything like that. I'd much rather see that go into a Blade Mail than waste that money on an Urn like, yeah, a team should always have an urn, but if you're not playing in a roaming role, or you're not being effective, and you're not going to need it for your lane that much, like, I don't see the reason why you're putting that much money into it. I'm not sure that I agree with it. Agree with it at all. Anyway, back to some so laning analysis done. I just want to talk you guys through the sort of team roles at the moment, and the types of teams that they're playing. I'd like to point out that one of the reasons why the scores are 7 for 12 at the moment, and why Denmark is doing so much better than Greece at the moment, is because the roaming power from Greece came from a CM and an ES. And yes, they do have high AoE spells, but they have very low potential kill spells. Also, they didn't really roam effectively from the bot lane. This Leshrac and this Ogre have been roaming from mid to bot lane effectively all the time. They both have very high magical damages, they both have stuns, they both deal significant AoE damage. We see this Ogre picking up a Fire Blast and an Ignite, and a stun and a Edict being picked up by this Leshrac, and if those two spells are picked up on both those heroes, you know that they're going for the roaming role. Lightning is normally picked on Leshrac if he's going to try solo lane. We see a hook here going onto Leshrac. Leshrac is he going to get caught in a cog? No, he's not going to get caught in a cog. We see Razor coming in here, but however, Link does pick up a double kill, using his ulti over there. The Lich using his ulti to be a pro, even though he's hooked on upon the Clockwork. Clockwork wasn't able to kill him effectively. Pugna's probably going to go down now. Pugna manages to survive. This ward being an absolute beast over here. A really good pick, actually. AA missing his ulti, but a really good pick, and Vikos goes down here on the Earthshaker. Earthshaker just hasn't impressed me at all this game, but Pugna definitely a really good pick against the Scourge. That ward, especially against the magical lineup team from... Ooh, doing some great juking in the bush here, but Pugna definitely a good pick against an all magical damage lineup from the Oh, is he gonna go down? Oh! Super good play. Waited for that spell to run off, then popped his Decrepify and just avoided the last hit here from King A. Crystal Maiden running in, Rattletrap running in. He's just going to get pawned to death, so he goes down. Crystal Maiden trying to help out. This Clockwork really hasn't been effective so far. Pugna's been effective because he's a... actually, Pugna picking up a kill. So coming back in here and picking off... the Lich's head, picking off the Lich, Pugna really effective because this ward against an entirely magical damage lineup team is super effective. Obviously he's going to go down here to a Leshrac, but I think this in return this Razor is going to pick up a kill, so that's a worthwhile trade, I suppose, giving your Razor a kill. Another stun going off here, so Razor picks up a double keyhole, so really good play here from Razor. Hasn't picked up his hood yet, but that'll come soon enough. So Pugna really good against an all magical damage lineup team, but I'm not sure about this Clockwork, because Clockwork became an urn first instead of a hood, or not even getting his blade mail finished. Hasn't been too effective. Also the fact he was just so held down in the lane against an Eredar who was just spamming his poison the entire game. Really didn't work out too well for him, and it hasn't been the force that they wanted to in the first place. So the reason why I'm still pointing out the reason why Denmark, Dagon now being picked up by AA. Looking at the creep checks again, he's on 106. Wow, using his ultimate to farm up that level 2 ultimate. You can last hit these range creeps really well. So you wait till a stack of them come up and you can get like 200 gold. So that's really cool. He's on 108 creep kills now, 79 on GG, only 57 and 62 on the Pugna and the Razor respectively. So this Dagon is just clearly the reason why he's picking it up, is just to pawn some people in the face, basically. Really being played as a hunting hero here. So definitely Denmark being more effective because of the roaming heroes they picked were much higher DPS and being played more effectively. Talking about the team strategy. Team strategy from Greece, they really aren't. They don't have high DPS. I mean, yes, Razor is a DPS hero, but I mean his base damage is relatively low to most carries. Also, they don't have that high magical damage or, you know, nukes and that sort of thing, but they are very tank, and I think the reason why they picked this against Denmark is because they realized that Denmark is pretty much has no tanks. They're very frail, and they're just entirely reliant on being completely magical damage, and they pretty much single target nukes, most of them. So in order for Denmark to survive, they needed to get up hoods on pretty much all of these heroes and a lot of armor. So in return to that, Greece picked up quite a tank team, and in hope that it'll work out. Razor being picked as their carry because he's very tank, and hopefully he'll be able to survive these single target nukes and then work out quite effectively for them.